Hi, I'm your host, Quincee.
And I'm your host, Sean.
And this is Over 30. And tonight we have with us Ishalia Cook, who is an influencer. We're talking big and sexy, and we're going to go through the whole thing. We got my friend and reoccurring guest, Shanqunette Shasha Young. How are you? We got David Byass, extraordinary saxophonist. And Eric Williams, my friend, is going to be talking about being big and sexy from a male point of view. And in addition, of course, we have our entanglement letter entitled Betrayed by a Friend. So we're going to get into that right now. And I am just going to start with you. We're going to call you Ice. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. And tell us how you got started representing being big and sexy.
I got started when I was in college. I went to school for fashion. And that was just my gateway to just really show my personality through clothes. And doing that, I started to inspire my peers. And even, smaller women wanted to know what I had on. Could I help them with their image? And it all started from there. And then I went into work in retail. So I managed for major plus size brands, and I styled thousands of women in store. And that just led me into just becoming an influencer.
And how long have you been an influencer in your size? Were you always this size?
I have, I tell you what, I've always been a bigger woman. I lost 100 pounds and I had a son and I gained it all back. So I've always been on the thicker side. It just kind of weighed how thick I was. So yes, always a big, beautiful woman.
Wow. That's amazing because it's kind of hard, especially when you're in college. Did you feel like it was hard being a big girl in college?
Yes, it was because during that time, now it's being plus size is embraced by everyone. It's a movement now, but back when I was in school, it was something that I really had to fight for, and I always felt like I had to go, always be a step above, always make have that I was on point wherever I went. So it was hard. It was like I couldn't have a bad image day. Like I always had to be on my toes. So but having the confidence that I have, it was easy. It was easy for me because it just came naturally.
Did you feel like you were supported in your size, or did you feel like this is who you were and you were going to own it?
That was who I was, and I was going to own it. It wasn't, yeah, you couldn't tell me anything differently. And like, if you didn't like it, it was rare that they would come up to me and tell me that they didn't like it unless they were like upset or something like that. We were having a dispute, but yeah, you couldn't just how could you walk up to someone who is, very much confident in who they are and represented it well and not show support because you look at me and you see a confident woman, really.
And you are confident and you are very beautiful. And I was really happy that you decided to represent and come on the show. Shanqunette, did it feel like that for you? Take off your mic. You're on mute, Shanqunette. There you go.
Well, I actually come from a family of big women on actually both sides, mom and dad side. Smallest I ever was like a 12, 14, through high school, college. And then after I started having kids, I think my biggest weight was, I think I went up to size like a 24, 26. And then I ended up having a gastric bypass. I actually had two of them. And first one, I went down to like I went down to size 9, but I picked up some weight because I looked too sick at that size. And then I was good with my weight for some years. And then I picked up some weight again. And then in 2019, I had another gastric bypass. I lost some weight. but during COVID, I gained some weight back, but I'm trying to lose some more weight. I'm trying to get down. So I did purchase, everybody's talking about the Goldie gummies. So they taste okay, but I actually found some gummies that actually taste better and has the same effect. It's curbed my appetite. It's reduced, what I'm eating. But I would, at this point, I don't think I ever want to go any less than maybe a 14. I like being big. It's sexy.
It is.
And
I
we
think so
need
too. I'm a big girl, and I can't imagine ever being a single digit size again.
Yeah, when I see these women, they like a size 0. I'm like, a good wind blow and you're gone.
Yeah. It just look unhealthy. Yeah.
Right. I mean, when you see in their ribs and there's no skin there, nothing, no meat.
But I think that's brought about by us watching, and our parents watching movies where they showed what's that girl called, Twiggy? They show all that stuff as healthy, and they don't know how much of bulimia and all these things that were, involved with them being that size. So I'm cool with a chick that could eat a hamburger and be okay and not feel like she fat.
Yeah, but this is, we're now stepping in the big girl movement. We're now stepping in. It's cool.
Curves. I think they call it curves. I think they call it women with curves. And people like, Europeans have always taught the thing of being thin, and we've been thin because we could eat.
You're right, but look at how they doing now. Busting their ass, trying to go pay for some ass, get them some ass cheese.
Everybody want to be
We are not cussing.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't cuss. I was the first one to cuss, but I didn't cuss. Everybody want to be a Kardashian. Everybody want to have a booty. What's them things called? They called it's some yoga pants that make your booty look good.
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
I know what you're talking about. My friend and I, we bought some. We waiting to come in. I want to see how it's gonna make me look.
It's called scrunch. I think they call it scrunch. And I had, I'm a Googler. So I Google it. And I'm like, what the hell is scrunch pants? And they were something that sewed the thing right up there near your girl parts and make it look like you had a booty. And I'm like, has the internet taken over all of this stuff to make everybody want to have a booty now? Because the booties weren't cool in the 80s. Them girls trying to be straight up and down.
Well, we're about to talk about the difference between the 80s, because if you were not a small size, being thick was traumatizing in the 80s. I know y'all young people don't know nothing about that. That's a separate topic. But we're gonna go over here real quick to David. Because David, you are not a big guy, but you are a tall guy.
But that's cool.
I am 6'5", so I'm pretty large myself, and
Will it show out?
I mean, sometimes that's all I got. That and a little bit of music, but for me, it was always a thing, because the same way there was a stigma for a certain body type for women, of course, there was a body type for men as well. I was tall, so I played basketball in high school, and of course, basketball, athletic bodies expected to be a certain way, and that's never been the way I was. So even at my smallest, I always kind of had the mindset, unfortunately, that I was bigger. Right, and so I'd always kind of push to try and get my body size down, get my muscle definition up, to try and be what they say the male body type should be. But again, now that I've come into my own, and I've hit the point now where, one, I'm married, and that does wonders for any type of body image, right? And so I've hit the point where I'm going for healthy, and healthy is really the biggest thing. Whether you're big, whether you're small, my thing is you have to be healthy, because you can be the skinniest person and still keel over the next day, or you can be someone who's twice your size, 3 times your size, and some of those people can run circles around you, right? So my biggest thing is just making sure that I'm healthy and I'm happy with how I look. And it's tough, because we've all had that situation kind of growing up where someone in some way or another has told us the way we look isn't acceptable, right? But between trying to reinforce that in myself and having my family reinforce that message as well, starting to come in a little more into my own. So,
And Ice, what do you want people to know, if they are not the perfect size? What do you want to tell kids and teenagers about that? Because that's still an issue.
Okay, so for me, like
I said ice, Eric. Hold up. I said ice.
I'm sorry. My mistake. I'm sorry. I just said people.
I think what I would say, what I would have told my younger self, it was, if you didn't like it, then you needed to make the steps to change it, because it's all about you and how you feel about yourself. So if you have that confidence, that self love, it's kind of hard for someone else to break you down. So just find what you like about yourself and own it. If you don't like it, change it. If you can't change it, embrace it, because that is you. You're gonna have to go through life, and you're always gonna have obstacles, and you just gotta be strong, and you gotta own it. I would just say own it.
Okay, Eric, so I'm gonna ask you that question. So when you were growing up as a kid, were you a big kid?
Oh yeah, I was. Nickname was Fat Boy. One dude down the block gave me, and then when I realized that it was not my size, I educated myself before I realized that I was the big dude, and I left the block and I went to McDonald's and started working. I was on a radio station in Detroit, the biggest radio station, WJLB. I was a DJ, and I'm on here and I'm like, oh, hold on. Women like my voice? I didn't know it was a thing. But I started to realize that I stopped looking at me. I was looking at me all the time before. I started looking at who I could be. I'm a legend. I'm in these streets. You know, people like, hold on. Before all these cards, these loyalty cards they give out the stores, Kroger and all this, we had something in Detroit called tune-up cards. And you can do this and get discounts. And I had tune-up cards. And I was the man. And then I realized that I was not me. I was what the world saw me as. And I forgot about the fat dude who was trying to get the girls and all this stuff. And I'm just like, hey, hold on, I'm a thing now. And I just, you know, I had 8 girls at McDonald's who were my girlfriends. We didn't do the things, but I was cool with the fact they wanted my company. And I had left my block being the guy who couldn't get nobody because I was the youngest, fattest dude on the block. So you just handle your business, and you know, you understand that your persona, what you present to the world is way better than what you think you are. And I've been blessed with a lot of beautiful young ladies in my life. And that's what it was.
And Shanqunette, how did it work out for you?
I am a very outspoken person, and I'm very confident in myself. And I'm content with my size and my body, the cellulite and all, you know. It's about what you put out. That's what you get back, you know. Like my daughter, she just had her first child, and, you know, she gained a lot of weight. And Dominique was like the smallest out of everybody. She had booty, but she was small. And now she's got that baby weight, and she's actually having postpartum depression and saying that she feels ugly and nobody's gonna want her and stuff like that. And I had a conversation with her and Shakayla, and me and Shakayla was both telling her, because Kayla's like, I've been big all my life. And Kayla was like, I still be pulling them. You know, I look good. I get my hair done, get my little makeup on, put my clothes on. And I carry myself like I am the shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you either love me or you don't. And if you can't rock with me, kick rocks. Keep it moving. You got to be on my level. And, you know, that's what we're working with Dominique on, about embrace who you are and what you are and your new body. Until it changes again, embrace it. Because if you can't embrace it, nobody else is going to embrace it.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because growing up, and I've always been an admirer for those of you who know my daughter Quincee. You know, she's a big girl, but she owns it like nobody else. Personality and just looks and all. She just owns it, and she's a beautiful girl inside and out. And growing up, I'm from California, so, you know, in California, you got to have that skinny beach body. You know what I mean? In the 80s, you had to have that skinny beach body. So I have gone the road of being bulimic, literally, throwing up and purging. And I went through a phase in my 20s, and I saw someone I had seen since high school, that I dated in high school. And he literally said to me, like, what's wrong with you? Because people kept saying, 5 more pounds and you'll be perfect. 5 more pounds and you'll be perfect, until a whole year went by and I didn't realize it. And I went from being a size 7 to a 0/children's 12. And it was so crazy because when my daughter Sasha was, I think she was 8 or 9 years old, I kept this Felix the Cat t-shirt that I had, and she fitted perfectly. That's how skinny I was. Like I went from being, like I had 0 breast. I just had nipples. I lost everything. You could see the bones in my chest and the bones in my back and my spine and my hips. And I had no idea, because I was so used to thinking I wasn't good enough and looking in the mirror. I didn't realize that I had exceeded what I should have done. I wasn't even looking at myself, and it was so funny when I went and I looked at myself, I thought, oh my gosh, I let other people's opinion take me down to literally skin and bones, and so now I am drifting always between a 14 and a 16. And you cannot tell me that I don't look good, that I'm not rocking myself. No one could ever take that away from me again. But I think we let other people judge us, and we get stuck in this point of view. And it was so funny. I was telling you guys before the show, one of the reasons why I love Sean so much is that Sean was one of the first person to tell me, ain't nothing wrong with that big size.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. Just a quick thing. Like I said, it's all about the confidence. The confidence makes you sexy. If you carry yourself as, ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm a beautiful woman, you give off that vibe. You exude that. And like I was telling you, a real man doesn't have a problem with that, doesn't see that. He sees through that. He sees that confidence in that woman. You know what I'm saying? Inner beauty to me is much better than outer beauty, because you can have beautiful so-called Kim Kardashian, but with that shallow mind or psychoticness or whatever she's going through with her inner issues, and that becomes unattractive. And she starts to even look unattractive as you deal with her. So the confidence thing is everything, and how you carry yourself. You know what I mean? I've always been attracted to women big, not too thin, but you know what I'm saying? Women that carry themselves with that confidence. You know what I'm saying? I love a powerful woman as a real man. And so, I mean, that's always how I've looked at it. And if anybody sees it otherwise, they might have some issues themselves. That's all it is to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they got, from my opinion, and I'm not speaking for nobody or no set, it's like when you meet a person, you got a connection, you don't have one. And, her size, that's it, brother. Because her size is what she is. And it's not who y'all are. And you join and you meet with her, and you see like, oh man, she a little bit different, but she ain't far off from who I am. Or hold on, she may be more than who I am, and I'm getting ready to get into a different chapter in my life. You ain't gotta have somebody with a size, a body size that is made up by the media.
Exactly.
We love who we love, man, and we get down who we get down with. And when I see a young lady, I'm like, how's her spirit, man? She good?
Exactly.
It's the question of, do my booty look big in these jeans? You know what your size is. Your size 32, you know your ass look big. But if you're size 22 or 12, okay, I can lie to you some. But if your shit is 32, you know what your size is. And it's no knock. Because if I like a 32 size woman in these jeans, that's what I'm going for. Because you know what? You done stole my spirit already. You already got me. So
Yeah,
12, 22, or 32 is what the guy wants and who he wants to deal with. And you can lay your what they call them, those things where your self help me out, somebody. Y'all got a word, throw it in there. Whatever your insecurities are, you can throw them aside. This dude want to be with you. He like a size 32, a size 22, or a size 12 woman. And don't be like, is he only with me because I'm a big girl and I can't get nobody? No, he like you.
Now let me ask Ice. Ice, do you get questions from women who are plus sizes wanting to know how they can be more like you?
Yeah, all the time. It's the more that I come the more that I'm online and the more that I put myself out there, the more of an audience that I get, and the more women that come to me and they want to know how they can be more confident, or what are the steps that they can take to look better, feel better, and all that good stuff. And I think that it's a misconception that, bigger women don't work out, bigger women don't take care of their bodies. I work out every day. And I'm healthy, you know what I'm saying? So it's a misconception that, women, the plus size women, aren't insecure. There are smaller ones. I get a lot of smaller women that come to me for advice. Not only just not only just big women. So I think that it's all women have issues with their self appearance, and everybody needs a little help. Yeah, body image. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has that.
Do you ever tell women, Ice, what they can and cannot wear, or should not wear because of their size?
No, I think you wear whatever makes you feel confident. I think that when you put it on, you better own it, because it's on your body, and you better rock it.
Yeah.
And whatever whatever looks and whatever comes along with it, it is what it is. You got to own that, and you can't. Sometimes we put on things and we're like, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna rock it, and then you get out there and all eyes are on you, and it's different. Now you, and especially with someone who may have a self-esteem issue, you put yourself out there, and now you take it 3 steps back, because now you have the whole world looking at you, giving you, the sideways look, and now you don't want to do it again. You don't want to take that step, and you don't want to, put yourself out there. So I think that there's always, self confidence is not something that, can be taught. That's something that has to come from within. So I tell people that all the time, like, I can tell you things, but you're the one that has to live this life, and you're the one that have to really get out there and be confident.
And David, I'm going to ask you before I go to Shanqunette, have you ever dated a plus size girl?
It's probably by the growing definition of it, more than likely, if you're going just based on, because I feel like, kind of like we talked about before, when the whole ideal was really small, pretty much anyone who had any kind of shape or curve was plus size. So I guess by that definition, I've definitely dated a few bigger girls. The bigger thing for me is it's always been about, kind of like Eric was saying, when people were forced to get that out of the way and all you could see is what else you bring to the table. There's a lot more to it, and I think that's something that I have to learn, and that of course other people have to learn as well. Sometimes, unfortunately, we get kind of caught up in the fact, with this what I look like, and yes, that might be someone's first impression, but whether you are the most or least attractive person in the world, if that's the only thing you bring to the table, it's not going to make a difference.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Shanqunette, how about you? I want to ask you in reverse.
Okay.
Are you dating plus size men?
I actually have a huge crush on a plus size guy.
Hello.
Yeah. The way he talks and his whole swagger reminds me of my dad, believe it or not. Women look at men that are like their fathers.
Yeah.
So my dad wasn't a big dude, but this guy, he's a sweetheart. He's really nice. You know what I mean? He would make a great boyfriend, but he's just not. He's checked out because during COVID, like in April, he lost 5 family members in COVID. So the same system. Mother, aunt, father, grandmother. Yeah, a lot of people. close people. So he's just kind of like going through the motions. He's not ready to have anything. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to kind of like settle down again, it would be somebody like him. You know, I have, as I'm getting older, I'm no longer looking, and he's not an ugly dude either, but I'm no longer just looking at the exterior.
Yeah.
Because you can find somebody that's fine as all get out, body banging, face, all that, but their attitude make them so ugly.
Or
they
they're
like,
intelligent.
Yeah. Tell the truth, sister. Shame the devil.
or they like to put hands on you. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't believe everything that come up in a nice package.
And everybody knows me that when I was dating, because I haven't dated in a long time, but when I was dating, ugly wasn't a factor, fat wasn't a factor. I gotta be able to get along with you.
Right.
And that made you beautiful, regardless of what you had going on. And I've always been like that because, you know, I look at people and I think, oh, okay, they're nice looking, but it doesn't attract me to them. What attracts me is personality. But for some reason, it takes strong personalities to approach me. Because if you generally approach me, I'm from California. I'm looking at you like, why are you here? You know, we don't talk to strangers.
Y'all ain't tough in California.
And I'm a northerner.
Y'all ain't tough in California. Y'all ain't tough in California.
Why are you here? You standing here for what? I'm sorry, you flirting with me? Why? You trying to steal my wallet? What you want?
And it's funny when we moved, like I was raised in the north. I'm back up north now in Jersey, but when I moved down south with my parents and everything, and people would be like, "Hi," I'm like, "This, I don't know, nobody's speaking to me." You know what?
Hey,
we're having a barbecue at 3. Come over. I
don't know. In Detroit, it was a thing in the 80s. It was like, I ain't friendly. Period. I ain't friendly. Yeah. And that was like the joint. Like, you can't just roll up to me, Nick. I ain't friendly. And it's like, whoa. But that's how our persona came up. Like, you can't roll up on me like you said, Quincee. You can't roll up on me super soft and cool and want to hang out. I gotta see you from over there and right here and see if you're friendly, because I ain't friendly.
And there were no social media checks. So we just looking at you like you must be crazy.
Exactly. Like, you can't just roll up on me. So when I started dating that, it was like you was checking out girls and stuff, and you heard from your friends and whatever, your mans and them and what have you. And you just like, let me see what she about. And you want to know if the girl was like streetwise and all this and that. But you know, we in some of us our 40s and our 50s. We ain't friendly no more, man. You can't just roll up on me with some black folks meat joint. No, man. What you saying? What you saying?
And Sean, what do you want to say?
Choose the words carefully.
I'm gonna keep it simple and back to the original statement. I have, you know what I'm saying, or back to the original question. I have dated, I guess you want to call them plus size women. I don't call them plus size women. I call them thick in the right places. You know what I mean?
You, bro.
Yeah, but you know, I've dated them, you know, and like I said, it's all about the person that you're dealing with. It has nothing to do with the outer or the exterior, you know. You got a good personality, you know, we vibing, we got good conversation, you know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about all of that, you know. I'm loving every single inch, ounce, crack, crevice, corner, you know what I'm saying, of you. If I'm in love with you and I'm with you, you know, so I've never been discriminative like that, you know.
So David, I'm gonna ask you, because you're a younger man.
Okay.
Is it an older generation that feels this way, or is the younger generation good too?
Regarding just embracing people who they are, as opposed to kind of keeping up with whatever stigma is, I think, well, again, based out of my circles and my groups, that it really is a lot more of, do I like who you are? Then I'm gonna get on board with the rest. It's not like, I think as a lot of us are now getting older, the mindset changes, where it's, okay, you need to check all these boxes, to the fact that, are Are you someone I can vibe with? Can we go on this journey together? Then I'm gonna take everything you have that you're bringing with you, because I know you can do the same thing for me.
Okay. And before we go on to our next segment, I want to ask you, Ice, 10 years from now, do you still see yourself as a body influencer, as a social media influencer, and as someone who encourages other people to just be themselves?
I do believe that I still would be, because there's still things that need to change. And like how we were talking about just now about, accepting people, and it's not just about their image. Well, I think that there's still some issues there, because you do have men who accept you in private, but when it's time to take your plus size woman on a date, or introduce them to your friends, it's a little bit different. So there's still some people who need to grow up. And
Yeah.
there's still some people
Yeah.
who say, that they accept it and they don't. And I think that women shouldn't accept that. You shouldn't accept a man who's not going to love you publicly and not going to embrace you
Uh-uh.
wherever you are. So I think that I'll still definitely be working on
I
it.
agree. I
And
totally
it's
Yeah.
so funny you said
He's
that,
weak.
because me and Sean were just having this
weak.
conversation, because I had dated a guy a while back, and he was scared of my breast. Big breasts aren't for everybody.
Oh,
Right.
well, hold on. But scared of breasts is not
This is not for everybody.
It's not for nobody.
me.
I mean,
I've
okay.
been diagnosed by somebody. What?
Big
I
booties
like 'em.
might scare some people. It's not for
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean,
yeah, they
how
don't know
big-
what they do with it.
Hey, but
Yeah,
how big is big?
She showed me her boobies, mama, and I liked them.
Okay, how big is big though? What's the big size?
I don't know, but he warned me that if we were to ever have sex, I would have to tape my breasts with saran wrap together.
What?
Oh,
Um,
wow.
So he's taking himself out.
That's a
He's
new
taking himself out of the game.
You saying something that never happened. You saying something that never
Put that,
Wait,
put them things in my face.
Wait.
Go
You know
ahead,
what I'm
Shanqunette.
saying? I like both
Okay, you know
nipples.
what? See this? Okay.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, flag on the plate. Throw that.
Okay.
Throw the flag.
Hey,
Please.
I only had one time when I was scared. I only had one time when I was scared, but it ain't never been no a run of the road
No.
press.
Call me
Wait.
Little
Okay.
John. I ain't never scared.
Wait,
I ain't
let
never
me say
scared.
this. Let me say this.
Yeah, you
One
Sean.
particular birthday, I decided to be by myself for my birthday. I got dressed up, went out, and I took a picture, right? So I didn't realize when I took the picture, I had so much cleavage up here showing in the picture, and I posted it on Facebook. So fast forward years down the line, I met a guy on a train in New Jersey, and we started chopping it up, and he friended me on Facebook, and he was like, "Oh, I really like that picture." He was like, so I took it down because I was like, "Yeah, that was a lot of cleavage out there. That was a little bit too much." So anyway, we started talking. So he was like, "Yeah." So eventually, I went over to his house one time. We just here to watch TV. So then he said he's gonna come over here, and I had just got back in town from Georgia. So he says to me, "I want you to wear that dress that you had on in that picture." Keep in mind, my birthday's August 9th, so you know that was a summer dress. When he was trying to come over here, it was in January. I said, "That dress is in storage." He was like, "Okay, do you have anything low cut?" I said, "Yeah, I got something." Because what I started doing for myself, there's a site called Adore Me.
Right.
So now my new thing is having matching panty and bras. That's my new thing, right? So I said, I texted him my address. So I went and took my shower and everything. I unpacked my suitcase. So I look at my cell phone and he was like, "Let me see your outfit." I said, "I just got out of the shower. I'm getting dressed, and you still ain't in the car on the way over here yet?" He's like, I don't want to come till I see the outfit. I said, "Hold on. You're going to make a decision if you want to come over to have sex with me based off of what I look like in this particular outfit." So I texted her back. I was like, "You know what? I'm good. Don't come over." And when I talked to a friend about, which is a male friend, I was like, men don't realize that just as much as they're taking a chance on us, we're taking a chance on them.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" I said, "Okay, We're taking a chance and you coming over and you got a small penis.
Okay, I knew she was gonna go there.
Oh Lord. I mean, how many?
Facts.
And we
See that
taking a
flag
chance.
on the plate.
Hold on.
Flag on
This
the
is
plate.
facts.
Flag on the plate.
No, this is facts.
Jesus.
No flag on the play on that one. No, this is facts.
Let me say something. Because when I always say, oh, tall dudes got big ones and the short ones got little ones and they got little hands, they ain't got
What
nothing.
about big feet? What about big feet? What about big feet?
Same thing about me. But what I'm saying is, now that I'm older and I done tested a couple flavors, I see that method is not true.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, just like he was taking a chance on whatever outfit I was gonna put on, I'm taking a chance of him coming over here, him wasting my time.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Because
Did
if
he wait-
the penis wasn't popping, it ain't never happened.
but hold on, did he
And
ever
if
come
you're
over?
not, and if you're not,
That's how they think. That's how they think.
playing with you.
True
ever
story.
come
Ain't
over
nothing
and
wrong
was
with that.
the-
That's how you think.
Don't play with us kids. You come to do the
Don't
code.
play with them like that.
Did he ever come over
Don't
and was
play
the
with them
penis
like
problem?
that. Let's start with the word penis. Let's start with the word penis. If
Right.
you calling it a penis, it probably ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Back to my earlier conversation, pre-show, it should be Richard Esquire Senior, long stroke. You should have something.
Look, y'all, I feel like we're moving into after show. We might have to cut.
Because if that's what she said, no, she got a valid point. Because if you, like she said, he want to see her in the outfit, she want to know if that's
What are you
gonna
working
be
with?
right. You don't even gonna have something, or you working with something. You should have said, if anything, you mind if I send you something in exchange for you sending me something?
You
Right.
said
You know what I'm saying? So we both know what we working
you said
with.
DP International, Sean. You
Huh?
said DP International. Should you send your should you send your before picture?
I'm ready to, okay, if it's that particular situation, I ain't gonna lie. If you need to know, I'm confident enough to say,
Wait a minute.
okay,
I'm gonna try and break this down in PG form. Okay. So are you worried about my size? I'm concerned about your size. That's what we saying.
Yeah, there
Allegedly.
we go.
Allegedly.
When women prepare to have sex, we go get showered, we shave, we get our hair right, we make sure we smelling good, looking good. And then you come over and you got a like 3-inch Mr. Man and you think you working with something. And then he gets off and you sitting there like, you stop?
Damn.
Right.
Hey, look. A dude can show up to a show with the outfit he got on and think it's a good deal. Okay. He showed up with his 3-inch and he thought he was gonna kill the game. He didn't know you seen 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9 inches. He was unprepared for the game.
Eric, I'm sorry, but a man know when his thing is small. I'm sorry. A man know when his thing is small. I'm just keeping it real. A man know. A man know.
I ain't never had that problem.
Yeah,
I never had no suggestion box problems. Like it suggests
It's
something.
not about suggestion box. A man know, just like we know. We know our breast is too big or real big or too small or whatever. A man know. A man know when his penis is small. Period.
I think we on a whole other podcast conversation.
I don't know what the subject was, but I
No.
like
It's
the
the same
conversation.
conversation. It just changed a little bit. You know what
A
I'm saying?
little bit.
I don't know what the subject
Big and
was.
beautiful, right?
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back for Quincee. Here's the thing. When a man sees a woman out, he already know what he's seeing. She's pretty, she big, she thick. He know that.
Yeah.
So he knows if he want to rock with that or not.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
know.
Yeah.
He know the package he getting. You understand what I'm saying? But we don't know. Unless he got some gray sweatpants on. We don't know what he working with. And I'm sorry. You know, I'm very
outspoken.
Cut it out.
I am not waste my time. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand.
Don't waste my time. because I will
Yeah,
send
don't
you
waste-
home sucking your
don't
thumb crying to your mama. Don't come to me.
Don't
Oh,
waste no
Lord.
woman's
Don't
time.
waste my time.
You shouldn't waste no woman's time.
No.
You shouldn't waste no time.
I'm gonna say, but what I will say, it's not a man's fault that he has what he's working with, right?
Yeah.
However, it is his responsibility to learn other tricks to make up for what he's lacking.
Oh, damn. That's a lot.
I want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say this, and then I think we're going to get off the sex topic. I want men to stop saying, okay, that the woman was big and he couldn't hit it properly, because men, let's keep this real. If you're saying the woman was too big and you couldn't hit it properly, that means your dick was small, and that's all. We're gonna leave it at that subject, and we're gonna exit there. Stage is left. We're gonna exit there. Don't say that.
Let me just interject real quick on that. Yeah, I don't think no man should be saying that who's confident or who is of side. That's an automatic giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had, I'm a construction worker and we work on the job site and we constantly talk and we talk like this. And, you'd say, hey, bro, how's your weekend? I dated this girl and, you know what I'm saying? She had a big old butt. I couldn't hit it from the back. We automatically know. If you say something like that, yeah, bro, you probably ain't had what she needed, dog.
Probably lacking. You lacking.
Please stop saying that.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a public service announcement. Do not say that.
I've liked women with thickness for the simple fact that when you are blessed, this helps the situation. Because little women, they running and crawling all off the bed and, trying to escape Richard. They don't need to escape Richard. Richard is here for you. All of him in his glory is here for you. So there's no, that's why a real man likes a thick woman. Because I got something for you. You know what I mean?
Hey.
We can get along just fine.
And on that note, we're going to switch and we're going to go to our entanglement letter. Okay?
Yes.
And I am a 35-year-old woman who was married for 10 years. I was recently divorced. I would not have gotten through the divorce without my best friend. Last month, her and her boyfriend invited me to a barbecue. I was happy to meet his best friend. I had been stuck in the house since COVID, recently divorced, and hadn't had an opportunity to get out. We hit it off immediately. We were talking and laughing and dancing, and I was having the best time I had since before my divorce. He asked me if I would like to join him for dinner the next week. I said yes, and I went to the bathroom. And when I came out, he was gone. I asked my girlfriend what happened, and she said she didn't know, but she was cleaning up the party. I decided it was time for me to leave, and I left. A few days later, I went to the gas station, and her boyfriend was pumping gas. So I asked him, "What happened with your friend?" And he said, "I don't know. He probably left because you had AIDS." I fell back. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I started yelling and screaming at him. How could you tell someone that I had AIDS? I don't have AIDS. I'm HIV positive. And he said, "How do you think I know?" I was devastated. Only my mother and my best friend knew. I want to confront her, but I haven't spoken to her. Do you think I should let this go? Or do you think I should say something? She knows that my husband had an affair, and that's how I became HIV positive. I feel betrayed.
Oh.
I'm in timeout right now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's
So
a lot.
Okay,
It's
so
a lot.
first of all,
Go
there's
ahead.
no medication out there that even if you do have AIDS, that is so it makes it so undetectable that you can't even pass it on. Okay? We are not in 1986 anymore.
But hey, is that for everyone? Is that for people who have been treated?
It matter. She broke the rule, the girlfriend rule. She broke that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not no friend. That's not no loyal friend, okay?
No,
Because
Yeah, because my
nothing
thing
nobody can
is,
say about anybody that I ride for. They don't have to be there. If anybody says something about anybody I ride for, I'm gonna check that person. And you gonna understand, you ain't even gotta come back and say nothing else about it. I'm gonna check them well enough. Now, 20 years ago, I probably would have went over there and chin checked that hoe. I mean that girl. I would have chin checked.
no, a hoe.
I would have chin checked.
You have to turn right for a second.
Okay.
But what I will say is, I would have a conversation with her over the phone, not face to face, because that could elevate to an altercation. Because that's your best friend. That's a heavy hit.
But 20 years ago.
And now you done gave it to a third person, gave the information to a third person, right? And he ain't got no loyalty. He gonna say it to whoever else too.
But sis, when you say they 20 years ago, it was a thing, you know what I'm saying? But now it's not as big a thing because they have cures. And when we go and we look at now, and they say that they got, all these medicines out here that, you can have it and not spread it. It's totally different. So my question would be like, what time frame this person have it? And for them, what do you say? Like, if they had it back then, it was a different thing. But if they have it now, there are, Truvaria and a couple other ones, it's out there that says like, you can't pass to someone. But I do
even said nothing to do.
Wait, let Sean go.
20 years now, 10 years, 5 years, what she should have done was keep her mouth shut and let her friend tell that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't have even discussed that with her husband. You know what I'm saying? That's that woman's private life that needs to be discussed when it's her time to discuss that. She could say, I know this relationship's carrying farther. I appreciate my friends for hooking us up, but before we get any farther, let me let you know the situation. And then she can explain the level of her condition, medications that's being taken, and all of that, whether it been back in the day or now. That's not your business. You invited her over to get over her divorce and meet somebody, and then you gonna throw the monkey wrench in that? Both of them right there is two worthless friends. Them ain't your friends, the husband or your best friend. Off the top, off the jump, let her explain that. You know what I'm saying? And make sure if you care anything about the dude, that she do explain that. And don't just, did you tell him? You ain't gonna tell him? Then that's when you interject and be like, well, I think he needs to know what he getting into, because he maybe, for example, want to be one of them guys that don't like wearing rubbers. You see what I'm saying? But you don't just interject. And they said they had a good evening. She had one of the best times since she had been married before the divorce. When she was happily married, she had one of the best times ever. You know what I'm saying? She was looking forward to maybe continuing the relationship out, and that's her burden to bear in telling him. What is you doing? All in their business.
Yeah. All day and all way, bro. All day and all way, man.
Like she said, she broke the girl code, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of broke the trust with your wife by telling your homeboy. You know what I'm saying? You should.
No, he didn't tell his best friend. She told her boyfriend's best friend. Her best friend told her boyfriend's best friend. Her girlfriend spilled the beans. So, yeah.
But let me just say, the reason I say she should have a conversation with her, because later on down the line, she's going to have hate in her heart for not having that conversation. She know that's not a friend. She know that's somebody that she should never, going forward, don't even speak to. You understand what I'm saying? But I would at least pick up the phone or send an email in detail and let her know, express how she feel. You know what I'm saying? And wish her the best, because I believe in karma. Okay? Wish her the best and go on and do great things.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Ice. Ice, what you think?
I think that she was never really her friend.
Yes.
If you're gonna go, you didn't even let your husband tell his best friend. You went and told him. So you have no loyalty to this woman. And they weren't even at the stage where they were about to have sex or they were about to do anything. They just met.
Thank you.
So you just put that out there for what? What was I feel like there was ill intent in doing that.
Yeah.
David, what do you think?
I definitely agree. That's the kind of information that if people share that, it's just because, oh, I have something interesting to say. Let me go and tell them. You're not thinking about your friend. You're not thinking about what it might be. I think one of the things, and one of my mentors told me just growing up, the biggest thing with any information you come into, 3 questions you ask yourself: is it true? Does it need to be said? And is it your place to say it? And if any of those things mark off wrong, you just keep your mouth shut, because otherwise you're sharing information for no reason at all.
Because what if
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you all day and always. Is it truth? Do it need to be said? And it's your spot to say it. And I leave that right there.
And
they would have went out a couple times and it just didn't work out. They never had sex, but they went out and realized, this really, it's not gonna work together.
Exactly. And then he never even needed to know about that. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever was gonna happen, they got undercut. Whatever it might have been for them is no. Just cut out the legs.
It sounds like,
but
she wanted it. It sounds like the best friend might have wanted a piece of that at some point in life, and didn't want it to be dirty. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with her. Mess with me. If she dirty, man, I'm not.
Man,
I'm clean because I'm married.
It's like all these things combined. It's like, do you do this or do you don't?
Well, here's my thing, because it sounds like we are all, for the second time on this podcast, in agreement on an entanglement letter. And, I honestly believe that her best friend had no place saying anything to him, because it's about loyalty. And that was not a loyalty move. You didn't know where it was going. And she could have told him, and I probably believe she would have told him, at the right time. But at least let her get a phone call in. You know what I'm saying? At least let that happen.
Let her tell him herself. Yeah.
And I'm for full disclosure on whatever that disclosure may be. Trust me. I believe in full disclosure. Don't lie to me. But give someone an opportunity to tell the truth. There's a time and there's a place for everything. And so I hope truly that she moves on. She finds real friends, because those are hard to come by. Just because people have been rocking with you don't mean that's what they really are. You know what I'm saying?
I can speak from experience. I mean, I don't have AIDS or HIV, but I am bipolar. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's important to let somebody know that I'm dating. But that's not the first thing that spews out my mouth. You know what I'm saying? When we go out, I got to feel vibe. I got to see what's going on with us first. If you even somebody, I won't even do it.
Right, because I could eliminate you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to eliminate me. I could be like, you're a jerk. She gotta go. Your hygiene is bad. It could be anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be her health issue as the reason it does not work.
Right.
So
he could have told her. He could have told her he don't like her breast size.
Right.
Saran wrap.
That'll make you leave. Yeah. Trust me, that'll make you go, what?
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall when he said that to you.
Shanqunette, I did not need you to be there, because it would have just my thing was, let me just go home. You would have just been like, so,
All I will say is my mentor is Lorena Bobbitt.
No, we don't need none of that.
That's a cold mentor.
Whoa.
That's
You
a
may have
cold
started
mentor
something.
right there.
You may have started something right here.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
We don't need none of that.
we're gonna go ahead and
But see, once again, if you're a confident man and you know you're a righteous man, you know, the first thing you're going to say is, well, I don't have no worries. And even if, you're going to need a samurai sword to cut through this steel. I'm just telling you that
well,
right
I
now.
ain't got all the steel you got.
But wait a minute. I gotta throw this in. As a celibate woman, I have to throw this in. Why do men expect that women are going to have sex with them, and that's an issue to consider whether or not they should date you? That shouldn't have been an issue, because if he cut out, his thought had to be eventually, I'm probably going to have sex with her, and I can't do it. Why was that his first thought?
Hey, hold on. Well, Quincee, how this get into all this call? I'm not sure how this getting into what we talking about today.
It's about the same thing, because if he was concerned about getting to know her, that wouldn't have been an issue. If he really was concerned about getting to know her.
Exactly.
Losing his penis.
Oh, that's Shanqunette. I didn't say nothing about that. We gonna exit this.
Window.
We're gonna exit this conversation. Poor David.
I'm like, hold on. How do we lose
you gotta say
on this call?
Just saw a movie on Lifetime Movie Network, because when it happened, I think I had to be 18 years old, so I didn't really grasp, everything that happened. But when I saw the Lifetime movie, I saw what built up to that, because I thought that she did it because he had been cheating, and that was not why. He was beating the mess out of her.
Okay.
Well, we are actually going to transition out, and we're going to talk to David real quick.
All right.
David, you were telling us earlier, because I found you as an amazing saxophonist. You were telling us that you also play the piano. Tell us about your background.
Yeah, so I have been doing music for most of my life. I started playing piano when I was officially started playing when I was about 5, but it started more when I was about 3 or 4. And I would always go to my dad's piano and just start making random noise. And my parents got tired of it, so they put me in piano lessons. And my teacher initially said they didn't take students that young until I started playing. And then it just kind of, went from there. As far as piano goes, I've played at school. I've taken lessons. I've played for churches. I've played for different groups. Saxophone, I've been playing since I was about 9. And it's an instrument I picked up because one of my cousins actually plays. And hearing him play was a big influence. But then both these instruments, I just kind of kept going all the way through up until high school. And my parents asked me if it was something I was really considering. And I said, yeah, it's what I want to do when I go into college. And so I got the graduation gift of some professional instruments along the lines of $3,000 to $5,000. And so now my parents made that investment. And so I made sure I kept going with it. And so I studied music in college. I teach music at a high school level. And it kind of took the COVID push, because it's always been in the back of my head to try and say, oh, I'm going to get my own music out there. But then I started teaching and started playing other groups, and I never really got around to my stuff until, we were all stuck at home. And I said, I had this stuff in my head, in my heart, let's start getting it out there. And so that's when I really started pushing with my content on my YouTube channel and all the different pages. And that kind of brings me to where I am now. My hopes are to have my own project out by the end of the year. That's what I'm working towards, to have my debut project. But lots of different music, saxophone, piano, just kind of all come together, different genres that have influenced all kind of going into what I play and what I do.
And I saw you actually playing saxophone for gospel, and it was absolutely amazing. You are very talented. I want to definitely give you your props for that. What are we about to hear from you? Is it you doing both sax and piano?
Yeah, the first one, I have a couple songs, and hopefully I have time for all of them. But the first one I'm gonna play, I decided to do right around when this musical icon passed away, and it's "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers. And so,
say it again.
The song is "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so it's a song that I felt the need as a Black musician, looking at a musician like him. It's paved the way for so many others. I had to do something with it. But like I do with a lot of the music that I'm putting out, I don't want to just play it the way it's been played. So I kind of gave it my own little twist, kind of made it my own thing. I play a lot of stuff, but I don't play drums. So I got one of my friends to play drums, but everything else on the track was me for this one.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. Hopefully this works with me now.
That was incredible. That was so incredible. That took me back to pre-Rona days. I'm at Jazz in the Park. Like I said, you are amazing saxophonist. You are amazing. And so what we're actually going to end up doing, I'm going to let everybody get their sense in. Shanqunette, I know you'll be joining us again another day. But I want everyone to tell everyone where they can be found. I'm going to go over here and start with Eric, because Eric, you're working on a project you were telling me about earlier. Take yourself off mute. You're still on mute? You went back to mute? There you go. Oh, you put yourself on mute.
No.
Oh my goodness.
One
The
time.
computer did not want you to share this.
Tap it one time.
Okay, you acted like the old man.
All right, I'm on the old man. Shit, I was sitting here and I didn't know that I was in this thing. I was like sitting here like listening to the jazz music like, oh shit. I did not realize I was still with y'all. I didn't know my camera was still on. I'm just sitting here like, oh man, okay, all right. It was beautiful. So,
Thank you.
Quincee, I'll re-ask, what was your question?
You are doing a project that has been helping people cope, during COVID. Tell us about the project.
Well, I've been working with the seasoning business. And when people talk about getting a seasoning or lorries or what have you, all the stuff we grew up with, I have been blessed with a partner who told me I should sell this. And I'm like, I ain't selling this. This is just this. And it was a salt-free seasonings that made me think like, what about when people can go ahead and cook something that didn't have salt in it? You can add what you wanted to, but it didn't have to be the basic thing that was in your thing. And I started a salt-free business based on her help. And you guys know her, but I put the business out there and I ran it. And it was okay. And it ran for a long time. And it did its thing. But, you know, Black people seasoning, other people seasoning, you know, you get into all the big seasoning markets that fight you and you don't win. And I just decided to take my thing and make it a little bit like, I'm gonna sit still for a minute. And that's what we did. But for this salt-free seasoning, Doughboy seasonings, it was a great thing that ran and went out there and helped people. And they were like, I can have a good meal without salt. Oh, wow, that's great. So I tell y'all that, and I tell y'all that God bless and keep y'all community, and we're gonna still keep running. We're gonna still keep running.
And I will say this Doughboy seasoning is amazing. There was even a seasoning that took the place of barbecue sauce for all you people who like barbecue sauce. I just gotta say that. And I have tried to get my own, and I'm still trying to get some Doughboy seasoning. We'll talk about that another day. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go over to Ice. Ice, tell everyone what you're doing and where they can find you.
You can find me at IC_style on Instagram, and you can also look me up on YouTube, and that's IC Styles with an S. And I do reviews, makeup, hair, fashion tips, all that good stuff.
Can you put that in the chat so I can get it?
Okay.
In the chat?
I got you.
Okay. Because I definitely want to connect with you as you being an influencer. I'm trying to start my own podcast, which Sean and Quincee are aware of, but it's geared toward self-awareness.
Okay. Where do you want me to put it in the chat? We'll figure it out.
At the bottom of your screen, I mean to the right. I think it's Yeah, at the bottom it says chat. Just hover over it with your mouse.
Okay.
And type that in. And David, where can people find you?
I'm going to send you my number, okay?
Okay.
David, where can people find you?
Oh, yeah. So I'm on YouTube. So you can just search David Byass. Instagram, my artist page is Byass Music Lab, all one word. For people that still hang around Facebook, it's facebook.com/dbyassmusic. It's all pretty much just right around my last name. And I'm working now, since I'm starting to work on original music, on getting my stuff up on, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that stuff. That's kind of a work in progress. So hopefully you can find me there soon. Right now, it's pretty much just IG and YouTube.
And I want to spell that out for people who are hearing you say it, but the writing might be too small for them to read it. That is B as in boy, YASS, Byass.
Yep.
Okay. And we're gonna get out of here. As we do, you can play something else, David, and we'll go to break. Until next time on Over 30 Podcast.
I'd like to say peace to my audience. Thank you to all of my guests, and good night.
Take us home, David.
Brother.
All right, let's do it. Go out with my one original song. We'll start with that one for this. All right, thanks y'all for having me. You guys take care.
Yep, and you play amazing. You good.
Here we go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey,
man.
wait, you got CDs, right?
That's what I'm working on. My first project should be up by the end of the year.
I mean, because I can listen to that when I'm going to bed and kind of drift off. That's a nice music.
Yeah, when I'm making the music, that's the kind of stuff I like to hear. I want people to appreciate it as much as I appreciate making it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, do your thing, man. I want to hear it.
For sure. Look out for it soon. All right, so here, as we wrap up, is my one original song, one of many, hopefully to come soon, called Midnight.
Play it, man. Hey, brother, play it, man. Play it. What?
Good night, everybody.